Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another Love in Paradise recap. I'm going to call Bo and we're going to recap it for you guys together. And we're just going to have like a little discuss, a girl sesh, a gossip sesh, and you guys can join and watch us talk. So let me call Bo. Hold on one second. Hi, Bo. What are you up to?
Oh, not much. Just sipping on some coffee, trying to wake up for the day. How are you?
Wake up for the day, girl. It's 12:30.
Okay, you know what? I work late.
Okay, well, good afternoon. Are you ready to talk about Love in Paradise, Season 4, Episode 8?
Heck yeah, let's get started.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. You are so mean.
I'm not mean. I'm excited to talk to you about Love in Paradise because I don't know if I've watched any of your recaps. You've only done one, right?
Of Love in Paradise?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know if I watched it, but I'm excited to talk to you about it. So let's begin with Aaliyah and Shawn. So in this episode, Aaliyah gets her hair braided, and it's about like an 8-hour process. She invites Jackie to keep her company, and Jackie asks her about her schmex life with Shawn. And I was super shocked that they didn't do it yet.
Yeah, well, I'm also most shocked because you would kind of assume that after someone proposes to you, that you would have like awesome schmexy time that night.
So it's actually really interesting because it's going to be their first time having schmex since she's transitioned. And I don't know. Oh, you know what? We actually will get into that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because before,
I did not know that.
Yeah, the last time they did it, she was Douglas. Was it in the beginning? Shawn told her, like she didn't even know this about their relationship. Shawn told her that they were in an open relationship and she found out because she found dating apps on Shawn's phone. And she was like, why are you on a dating app? And he was like, because I'm forking other people. You know, we are long distance. I barely see you. And I need physical intimacy. Like, I can't live without physical intimacy.
But Shawn justified it by saying like, oh, well, we never had the what are we conversation. Like, we never said that we were mutually exclusive. So I just assumed that we were all just porking other people.
Yeah, I guess I can see his point if they didn't have that conversation that they were exclusive. So I guess Aaliyah assumed that they were. But what's funny is Shawn says he can't live without physical intimacy. Like, it's very important to him. Yet he didn't do it. They haven't done it yet.
Yeah, well, and it was weird too because last episode when after he proposed and Aaliyah was like, I take this proposal as him fully accepting me. But then Shawn said, we have a lot of discussions to have, especially with her transition coming up. And I'm like, maybe now wasn't the best time to propose.
What do you mean with her transition coming up?
Because Aaliyah's not fully transitioned.
Oh, did they address whether or not she's going to fully transition?
I think that is her intention.
Because she goes to the plastic surgeon, right?
Yeah, and he mentioned like there's a bigger discussion that needs to happen around her upcoming transition. Most likely because he is a gay man and she's transitioning into a female.
So Jackie's like, oh my God, do you want to be in an open relationship? Because you don't have to if you don't want to. And Aaliyah says she's going to talk to him about it. But why do they have to talk about it when they're engaged? I guess they can have an open marriage? Is that a thing?
I mean, that's basically polyamory, right?
Oh, and I guess the last time she tried to talk to him about the open relationship and wanting to be monogamous, he shut her down. And so she's really nervous this time to bring it up because she doesn't want to get shut down again.
Like, she is very hesitant about talking to him about any of the big topics, right? Because she said herself that she didn't really feel comfortable talking about money or finances and things like that. Yeah, so it's so interesting, their dynamic, because Shawn has also mentioned that he preferred Douglas because he was quiet and pretty submissive.
Yep. And that was a red flag to me.
Yeah, and Aaliyah, even though is very confident and fierce, she is still growing into that new, like, you know, personality or, you know, person. So I can understand why she's very scared about bringing up open relationships. But if Shawn's justification of because he says the only reason I needed the open relationship was we only saw each other a couple weeks out of the year. So I don't understand why she would have any reason to be afraid to bring it up, because I would assume that that would mean once we're married, we're monogamous.
Well, maybe, I mean, Shawn did say that Douglas was a very shy, soft-spoken person. So clearly, Aaliyah still has that. Mm-hmm. She still is shy, which is why it grossed me out when Shawn was like, you know, Aaliyah is entitled. Mm-hmm. He called her entitled because she's sassy and she has confidence. That was weird.
And I didn't like, I hated how he was like, you can be a boss bitch, but you cannot be the boss bitch of me.
Yeah. I actually got chills. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, because listen, like, I understand if he's saying you can't be controlling towards me, right? That's fine. You shouldn't want to be controlling to your partner, unless, of course, it's like a kinky thing. But the reason he's saying you cannot control me, but he's also saying that because he wants to be the one to control her. And that's where it gets weird for me.
Yeah. So before, when he was like, yeah, I preferred Douglas when he was so quiet and scared. And initially I was pro Shawn. I was like rooting for him. And so I was like, oh, he probably just used a bad word and he couldn't think of the right word. But no, he meant it. He wants her to shut up.
Yeah, he wants to. Yeah. And I think if you want to be in control of somebody and it is a kink thing that both people have agreed to, you know, like, that is different, because that still comes from a place of respecting one another and your boundaries. But clearly that is not the dynamic that Aaliyah wants.
No. And it just gave me the ick when he was like, yeah, but Aaliyah, she's entitled, she's sassy, she's loud. Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't like how he kept referring to, he referred to Aaliyah as a persona. And I didn't like that.
Well, I think when he said that, he meant Aaliyah used to be Douglas's persona, and he could accept Aaliyah as a persona, but to deal with it full time is something that he doesn't know if he can do. Yeah, I think that's what he meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work, because I'm like,
it's not.
Kudos to Shawn. Yeah. I mean, kudos to Shawn for like trying.
Yeah.
But
it's clearly not going to work.
Yeah. And I feel so bad. I really hope Aaliyah doesn't go through with the marriage.
I know. Oh, so Aaliyah brings up the Schmeck's conversation. And she was like, do you not find me attractive anymore? And he told her, in order for me to get turned on, I have to feel like the man in the relationship and in the bedroom. And I'm thinking, okay, that's perfect, right? Because she is a woman and he is a man.
Yes.
But no, that's not what he meant. He was like beating around the bush, but ultimately he was just like, I need you to shut the fuck up and do as you're told, and you need to be submissive, and you need to play the stereotypical woman part.
Yeah.
I hated that.
Yeah.
I was like, ew, I don't like Shawn anymore.
But it's just like, it's weird because,
I mean, he's allowed to want what he wants, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I can't hate him for that.
But like, imagine how Aaliyah must feel in this conversation, right? You have this man you've been dating, you love him, and then when you transition to become a more empowered person with agency and like confidence, your partner doesn't like you anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that would make me feel so shitty.
I know. I feel so bad for her, but I don't know. It's just a lose-lose. I feel like they need to break up. Let's move on to Luke and Meline. So in this episode, his friend Brian is finally here with his girlfriend. And Meline's not happy because she knows that he was the one who told Luke to get a prenup. So she's like, oh my God, I have to deal with this idiot who told him to get a prenup, blah, blah, blah. And she confronts him about it. Well, they go to this open lake thing. They have a blast. And then afterwards, she confronts him about it. And she was like, why are you butting into our relationship? And Brian was like, well, if you love Luke, then the prenup won't matter. And she was like, okay, but that's a decision between me and Luke. And then... dun, dun, dun. Brian lays it all out. He says, Meline, I really liked you. You know, I went to bat for you, but I don't trust you anymore because Bleep told me that he was at your apartment and he slept in the bed with you topless.
So This is tough because, of course, there's always a possibility that Meline was in that bed topless because she wanted to be like hooking up or schmexy with that guy. But on the other hand, I would also 100% believe that she was just in bed and this guy was drunk and came in without her permission.
Yeah.
And that she probably was like, hey, get out. And he's like, no, you want me here. And then he like stayed. Like, I can completely believe that that would also be what happened.
Yeah, and Luke kept saying, were you naked? Were you naked? I mean, topless, maybe she just didn't have a shirt on and she had a bra on. They were all drunk, it seemed like. And they had, you know, they were partying and they probably all passed out. But Luke gets all pissy. I mean, because he's thinking the worst. And she's trying to tell him, I didn't hook up with him. I wasn't naked in the bed.
I thought it was wild that after they have their little tiff about this, he has the audacity to tell us this is some high school teenage drama bullshit. I'm looking to be with a woman, not a girl.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you're dating a teenager.
Yeah, she is a literal teenager. If you want to date a woman, go up in age.
Yes, and it's because he's like, this is high school drama. I'm like, she was in high school a year ago.
She just graduated.
What else do you want from her? This isn't 13 going on 30. Like, she needs to go through the actual passage of time.
Yeah, I think they're fine. I think they're going to stay together and he's going to get over this.
Do you think Meline is with him wholly just for money?
No. He's young,
Agreed.
he's good looking, and she's going to ride it out. But I think if he stays broke, then that's a different story. That's pretty much all that happened with them.
It is. Oh, and I did enjoy how Brian blew up. Like, Brian straight up blew up their relationship and was like, hey, so she was in bed with somebody, blah, blah, blah. And then him and his wife look at each other and they're like, well, things just got kind of awkward. So they're like, thanks for the good time, but we're going to go home.
They're like, bye.
I'm going to start this off by saying, Adriano, do you remember?
Oh, yeah. Gross.
Yes. Adriano in this episode reminded me so much of him.
Yeah.
But we can get into that when we get into that.
Okay.
Just know that that's coming.
Oh my God. Oh, let me get some bleach so I can swallow it and rinse my fucking ears after I listen to this.
Hey, you weren't the one who was in the relationship with that monster, okay?
Yeah.
I was.
So they're at the beach. Adriano looks at Alex and he's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And she's like, oh, thank you. And then he looks behind her and there's a group of young women and they're very attractive. And he says, that girl over there, she's really cute. And Alex kind of knows where this is going. She's like, okay. And he goes, how about we ask her to dinner and see where the night takes us? And she's like, no, I'm not interested. And he's like, come on, like, let's just try. You can't say no without trying. And she's like, no. Ugh. And he goes, threesomes are a part of my identity, and I'm always going to ask you. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? No means no.
Yep.
What do you mean you're
straight up said, I will never stop asking you for them.
Yeah. I'm so pissed. And obviously Alex is so pissed that he's not respecting her boundaries. But then I remember, okay, you have to apply this to your situation about your religion too, because you are kind of like trying to force your religion onto him, and it's not the same thing, but I just found it ironic. But yeah, no means no, and I can't believe he was like, I don't care, I'm just gonna ask you every single day until you say yes.
Yes, and what's interesting with that too is, you know how when his friend Gaetano?
Okay, so I didn't watch that part. I think I tuned out.
Okay. Not a lot happened. So they get to the beach and Gaetano asks them, like, how are you doing? And these two cannot even lie that they're doing well. They're just like, oh, terrible. We're doing awful. We're fighting all the time. And Gaetano's like, are you guys fighting about threesomes again? And I'm like, damn. So he already knows.
Yeah, it must be a regular thing.
Yeah, and Adriano says, it's not really about threesomes this time. It's about religion, and she wants me to believe in God. And to go back to what you were saying where, you know, he's forcing threesomes on her, but she's forcing her religion on him. I feel like she is only forcing religion on him because because her religion says threesomes are bad. And if you believe in my God, then you won't have threesomes. So I still think it is related very much to threesomes. Really quick story time. I don't know if I ever told you about this, but so the first person I dated, and he really wanted to do threesomes. And I was like, I'm good. But he, like, when a guy wants a threesome, at least in my experience,
anything smexual.
That is very true, because he also wanted to do butt stuff and I didn't want to. He will do it. With or without you. He will. And
oh my God.
And he did.
That's what Adriano did too. He like broke up with Alex because he found other girls who would do it with him.
Good on Adriano for at least breaking up with her. That was a decent choice. I did not get that courtesy.
That's so
But
gross.
yeah, I would tell him I don't want it. I'm uncomfortable. But then once in a while we would be like at a party and he'd be like, hey, what about that girl who's in my class? I think you'd like her. And I'm like, no.
Oh my God, he did the same thing?
Yeah. And then later he would be like, okay, well, if you don't want to do it with someone I know, how about we do it with someone you know? And he was like, how about your best friend? Like, I could do it with her. Like, you would be comfortable with her. And I was like, no, I don't want to see my best friend naked.
God.
I don't want to see my best friend doing things with you naked. And then he would be like, okay, what about a stranger? What if we find someone on the internet? What if we find someone,
my God.
blah, 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 blah. Never fucking ended.
Oh, nothing pisses me off more. No, there's a lot of things that piss me off more. But one of the things that piss me off so fucking much is when guys, when you say no, they keep pushing you. And they just bring it up again and again and again.
Yep. That reminds me, I had one of my roommates was a lesbian, and we had a friend that worked with us, and he would be like, okay, well, if you've never been with a guy, how do you know that you wouldn't like one?
Oh, okay.
And he's like, maybe you just haven't had the right dick. And she's like, okay, well, if all you've done is slept with girls, how do you know that you just haven't found the right dick either? And he's like, oh, no, I know. So it gives that energy.
Yeah.
Which is very annoying.
Well, I guess some people can argue, like, well, how do you know you don't like to eat this food if you've never tried it?
But it doesn't mean, I don't know, I think that's a little different, because if you put...
It's like, no, I trust me, I do not want a munch rug.
Yeah, I tried to explain it to someone because I have very masculine energy. So a lot of people are kind of skeptical. They're always like, oh my God, are you sure you don't like girls? And I'm like, listen, if I liked girls, I would have no problem saying I like girls. That's fine. But I don't even like to look at my own hoo-ha. I'm not going to want to look at someone else's.
I know. I don't want to go near it. Like, I am not. I'm like, no, nothing. Nowhere on my body is going near that thing.
And it's so funny because the roommate that I had who was gay, she was like, oh my God, hoo-has are beautiful. They come in all different sizes, colors, whatever. I think every single one is unique. And I'm like, that is an opinion you can have.
Yeah.
We just don't share that.
Yeah.
And that is how I know. Yeah.
Remember that for a while, not for a while, but I think for like a month, I was like, oh my God, am I gay? Because like, like, I don't know. How do I know?
didn't know that happened.
No, because I had a dream. I had a spicy dream with like an actress, and then I woke up. I woke up and I was like, "Oh my God, am I gay?" But then I thought of making out with a girl and like doing stuff with her, and I was like, "Hell no, hell no."
But to be fair, and you can cut this out, I don't really know how deep your desire to do it with dudes are either.
Okay, so I'm a demisexual, so like if I'm in a committed relationship.
Oh, okay.
Then that's the
so
only
you need to be
time.
Connected to them.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha,
Otherwise,
gotcha.
I can go 10 years and not be horny. But when I'm in a relationship, okay. Last and very least, we have Kyle and Anie.
Yay!
So let me tell you what happened in this episode. Kyle and Anie banged, and they did it. They did it without protection, and I was gobsmacked.
His long pee-pee inside.
Ew, that was so much information. Ew.
Dude, that whole section was so much information.
Ew. He loved talking about it too, you could tell. And apparently he took off his pants and they were making out, and he just whipped out his hot dog and was like, all right, it's ready for insertion. And she goes, Wow, yeah, that was the longest sausage I've ever seen in my whole life. And then he said he was afraid that the neighbors were going to hear or file a noise complaint because she was moaning so loud.
Oh my God. Do you think she faked it all? Like, because she felt
Oh,
bad?
girl, I don't know. I can't even imagine him and his schlong, like his long schlong.
Ew.
It was so gross. I'm sorry, but I don't care how good the Schmex is. I wouldn't go near him with a 10-foot pole.
When they wake up and he tells the producers, like, oh yeah, we did it. He says they didn't use protection because neither of them brought it up. But here's my thing that's weird is he donates his sperm. He also, does natural insemination.
Yeah.
He knows everything about condoms and no condoms and fertility. So if anyone should have brought it up, it should have been him. And he didn't bring it up.
He
and
purposely
he
didn't bring it up.
Yes. He knew he didn't have to. Because here is this guy who walks you through consent so in depth. Can I touch you? Do I have your consent to kiss you? And you're really telling me that this man didn't ask you if you wanted a condom or not before he stuck it in you?
Yes. I can only imagine he was in his mind. He was like, don't ask, don't ask, don't ask, don't ask.
Yes.
I can put it in as long as she doesn't ask. And then she tries to get an ovulation test because she's worried that she could get pregnant from this and she does not want to get pregnant. And she takes a test. And it says that she's not ovulating, but she's still worried. So she asks him to be 100% sure that she does not get pregnant from this. She asks him to get Plan B, so the morning after pill. And he's like, no, why? You don't need that. Like, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, no, I want the morning after pill. Can you get it for me? And he said he would. And he came back and didn't bring it. He didn't get it for her.
Yep. Tracks.
What a fucking...
The worst part about that is how he kept justifying why he didn't buy it.
Yeah.
When all you have to do is just buy it. You're not the one fucking taking it and fucking up your hormones. Shut up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. She wants the morning after pill. You said you would get it, so go get it. I hope she went to the store herself after and got it herself.
Yeah. I can't, when she initially called him and was like, hey, so I just want to be 100% sure, can you pick up the morning after pill? And he was just like, oh, this is like really weird that you're asking me this because I usually donate sperm so people can get pregnant. So it's like weird you're wanting to stop the pregnancy. And she's like, okay, yeah, but I don't want your baby. So can you do this for me? And he's like, I mean, okay, it's just really like it's my line of work. And I'm like, dude, shut up.
Shut the fuck up. And you are not a medical professional.
Yes. And even if it doesn't matter, she's asking you for the morning. And oh my God. And the sheer fact that he tells her, the test was, oh yeah.
My AirPods died, so I need to plug it in.
How dare they?
Okay, hold on. Okay, repeat.
Okay, so let me see if I can get back on my train of thought. What is crazy for me is when this whole conversation happened, he was telling her like, you're old, so it's already difficult for you to get pregnant. Second, the ovulation test, it said that you weren't ovulating, and I track your cycle, so I know you're not ovulating.
It's like, what the fuck?
But then in his like, what is it called? The confessional or whatever, he tells us, usually I don't pull out with women because I'm trying to inseminate them. So I did pull out with her, but I'm not really good at it. So yeah, I think I left some of my swimmers in there. And I'm like,
he did not say that, did he?
You missed it? Yes. He literally was like, I'm not good at pulling out, but I did pull out and I think I did a good job. But yeah, I can definitely...
Oh, he's sick.
Like see...
He is sick.
That I might have left some of my stuff in there. And I'm like, okay, so you're aware that you have left some of your stuff in there. Why are you fighting the fact that she wants the morning after
he wants her
pill?
to get pregnant.
100%. He's not doing this for the women.
No.
He's not doing this for the women. He's doing this for him.
Absolutely. Oh my God. I already knew he was creepy and predatory, but to do it to someone you're supposedly in a relationship with that you love and you care, and you're going to do that, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I hate him. I hate him so much, in my opinion.
I could not believe it. Yeah. I couldn't,
He's disgusting.
I have been with people who were trash and were like, okay, well, I'm not the one who can get pregnant, so it's your responsibility to pay for the morning after pill, right? That's
Oh my
total
God.
dirtbag behavior. But at least they're not opposed to me taking it.
Right.
But Kyle actually is. He's like, no, don't take it. Don't take it. We know you won't get pregnant. Don't take
that's
it.
so sick.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's going to be on like 2020 one day. He's going to be on a true crime documentary.
Yeah. Super gross. Not his biggest fan.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand how women, even if you really desperately want to have a kid,
how you
I
reach
would
out to
never.
a stranger on the internet.
But it's not even that. I would never let you inside of me.
I know.
Yeah. Especially considering he hasn't taken an STD test until like yesterday.
Yeah. Actually, I saw him on Dr. Phil where he finally took an STD test and the girl called him out and she was like, what about before? What about the 40 other women you slept with? And yeah, he didn't. He just finally got one. And I wonder if he told her that because remember he got an STD test last week's episode?
Yeah.
And we didn't get to
There's no
see...
way he told her.
I don't know, girl.
You're talking about telling. There's no way he would have told Anie yet because he would have had to say, he could have told her that he's clean and that's why she was okay with unprotected.
Because he would have had
took that STD test.
Because he would have had to tell her that he slept with 2 other women that he didn't tell her about.
Yes.
Recently.
Well, he didn't have to tell her, but that was his plan to do that.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't he have to tell her? Of course he had to tell her.
He doesn't have to tell her. I mean, his plan going into it was, I'm getting the STD test so I can tell her I slept with 2 other women unprotected, but I'm clean.
But he has to tell her she's his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that morally, absolutely, he should tell her, but he's not the most morally upstanding person.
Yeah. But he
absolutely
does,
could. Yeah, because I don't think Anie would have slept with him that night if he told her
that he had schmex
he did it with 2 other women. Yeah. Yes, unprotected with 2 other women.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think he left that part out.
Oh, that's so sick to know that he said that he's not a good puller-outer. And then he says, at one point, he was like, trust me, Anie, you're not going to get pregnant. And then she's like, okay, so you don't care how I feel. You don't care about what I want. And I hope she is finally coming to a realization that he has some sort of sickness where he wants to spread his seeds. He doesn't care about anybody but himself.
Yep. Yeah, and she does say, I loved when she was like, oh, Kyle, you are freaking me out right now.
Oh, that accent was so good.
Yeah, thanks. It was just so funny, her delivery. And I was like, yeah, he is freaking you out. He should freak you out every minute of every day.
Yeah, I don't understand how she never saw that.
When you're lonely
and
you
love.
don't see a lot of things. Yeah, you don't see a
blinders.
lot of things. Yeah, she got some thick ones on, girl.
Oh my God, I don't understand how. Is it a crime? Well, it should be if it isn't, but I feel like it is. Wouldn't it be a crime if he impregnated her on purpose? Oh, but they did have schmex and okay. Yeah. It gets a little dicey.
I think it's a little dicey. I know that in Spain, I think they made something called stealthing illegal, which is when you agree to use a condom, but the guy during intercourse
takes it out.
secretly takes it off to impregnate you on purpose. So yeah, I mean, if they were in Spain, he could get arrested, but I don't know what the rules are here or where they're in Malta, I think. Yeah.
Malta.
Yeah. So I don't know. Should be though.
Yeah, it should be illegal because he was absolutely trying to persuade her. Persuade. Wait.
Yes.
What's the word? Persuade?
Persuade.
Oh my God.
You got it.
I need to read.
You got it.
You're
fine.
No, I do. He was absolutely trying to persuade her into not taking the morning after pill. He lied and tried to reassure her that she wasn't pregnant, that she's not even ovulating because he's been tracking her cycle this whole time, when in reality, He knew that there was a chance she could be pregnant, and he knew he didn't pull out that well. Mm-hmm. Gross. He
All
needs
those
to go to
things, yeah.
jail. He needs to go to jail. Lock him up. Oh, I hate him.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I hate him so much. I've never.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to say that, but he is honestly one of the worst people on this show, and he's loving all this attention. Ugh, gross.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be good for business, right?
I don't know. I just all the women who he's donated to, I feel like are victims.
Yeah.
Gross. Yeah, well,
I don't think they would consider themselves victims. I'm sure a lot of them, they look at their children and they're very grateful that they were able to have a child. But he absolutely did prey on their emotional situation and their financial situation.
1000%, because he brings it up all the time.
Yeah. So the women may not be considered victims, at least not in their mind, but I 100% consider him a predator.
Oh, absolutely. It's very creepy and unsettling when he constantly brings up how desperate they are and how much they need this and that they can't afford to go to a medical center and do it the right way.
Yeah. Oof. And he's there to save the day.
Yeah,
and be
he's
there,
sick.
Knight in the shining armor. Yeah.
Oh my God, there has to be a documentary about him sometime in the near future. Netflix, Hulu,
yeah. If
Peacock.
if he doesn't sue him for defamation.
Oh, he would absolutely sue them. Yeah. Oh my God. It gets his giant dick hard thinking about suing these big networks.
Dude, stop. That's so gross.
Gross.
That's
I'd rather
so gross, dude.
choke. All right? I'd rather choke on, you know what? No.
No, don't. No. You wouldn't choke on anything, girl.
Yeah.
Don't lie to me.
All right. Well, that's it for the Love in Paradise recap. What did you guys think? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. And
let me know all your comments in the comments.